Oh, okay.
Being
I
so
thought
mean about it.
you were wondering why you enjoyed it. Hello, Rocks.
Hello. What's up? John's already dying.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's not my fault this time.
Yeah.
He
Soon
made
will
me swallow hard.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
What's going on? What's going on?
John?
Ooh, John, your wife lets you have the disco ball? The disco lights?
Yeah, I mean...
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
John, did I ever thank you for your help regarding Doctor Who?
I gave you help regarding Doctor Who.
Oh my God!
You must be talking about another John.
Happened? Yes, I know.
Might be.
Yeah.
No, it was Rob. It was Rob.
Yeah, it had to be Rob. It was not me.
Was not you.
That would have...
Wow.
Sorry,
wow.
It's not in my character notes.
It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm excused to confuse people.
Oh, what did Rob do though?
For last year we produced 2 seasons of a podcast for actually the for somebody who pays money for you if you produce podcasts for them.
Okay.
And that's just the easy version. I'm not awake enough to explain. And
Neither am I.
one of the subject was Torchwood, because that company showed every episode of Torchwood, so we were supposed to discuss it, and I still hadn't taken the plunge yet into Doctor Who, so I needed some advice because I knew that was going to be complex. So
no, here's the thing: no one watches Torchwood anymore.
Because it's not on anymore.
Well, I know, but there was a time when no one was watching Doctor Who.
It's questionable whether anybody watched it when it was on, though, too, right?
That's right.
Yeah, for most episodes. By the way, did you guys know that right now Twitch is showing Classic Who?
No. I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
What? All right. What is Twitch? Now that's
Twitch is a streaming service. Usually, it's supposed to be for gamers.
You see, there's this thing called the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the gamer one where you can watch people watch their live play stream? Is that it?
Well, you watch them play. You don't watch people watching. That would be even more boring. But
that site's coming.
Hello, Widge.
The boring show. We're watching a bunch of old ladies needlepoint.
Hey, that would work in what is it, Norway?
Yes, or the Amish country.
Stop giving away free ideas on the internet. Okay,
this is not free.
People
I'm thinking
curling.
Oregon and Washington might be popular.
People watch curling.
Where are you trapped in a closet?
I know,
Madman.
Your audio source seems to have switched.
We are no longer supporting R. Kelly, sir. If you could please refrain from any R. Kelly references, that'd be great.
Your audio source seems to have changed.
I don't understand why.
To ambient room. Ambient room.
There, is that better? Any better?
Get an old blanket and cover yourself.
There you go.
Hang on.
Rox, are you standing whenever we are doing this?
I
Okay.
am. I have a teeter board. I love that. That's great.
It's better to work.
You
while
sound
standing,
better.
So.
Thank you.
Yes. I am standing. Yes. Hence
there is a joke.
Weird lighting.
Right
but yes, it keeps me from getting deep thrombosis of the legs or whatever. Deep vein thrombosis.
Or you could always wear those. What I suppose. What are they called?
No.
No. Okay.
I will not wear compression socks.
That sounds like a Dr. Seuss rhyme waiting to happen. I will not wear compression socks. I will not wear them with a fox.
That's the appendix. That's the appendix to the places you will go. You know, the book for when you're about to die. Book.
Whoa. Whoa.
All the
it's-
places.
Oh, either that or we make a new page for the Giving Tree, and they'll have that guy with
God.
compression socks. I know, I hate that book. It's the worst
terrible.
book ever.
So bad. Oy,
Anyway, yeah.
Oy vey.
indeed.
Actually, John Boutel.
Yes, ma'am. I'm right here, waiting.
So I had
And
this
what?
on the non-agenda agenda list for some
Oh, I
time.
didn't pull it up.
No, I know you didn't, but this was a while ago. But I've been meaning to ask.
How do you know what I pulled up or did not pull up?
Well, it wasn't your pants.
Yeah, you're sitting down. No, Movie Pass.
Yeah, I stopped.
Oh, so when did they nail you?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Did they say, okay, you can't see?
Oh no. I
movie
just wasn't.
again?
I just wasn't. I just wasn't using it enough.
Oh,
Now I think it was it JJ that said that he was
Brian
going
was
insane with
using
it?
it.
Oh, Brian, that's who it was. Brian goes insane. with it.
Brian got the whole year packet, but
Sure
did
did.
they
Yeah,
change
That's what I
all
did
that?
as well.
All right, so are you using it, and did they curtail your usage?
The only thing that they've changed is you can only see movies once. So
That's
So nothing really.
nothing really. I mean, well, except for Brian, who I think was going to go, I think like saw Ragnarok like 15 times on it or something like that.
The reason why I quit was because they blocked several AMC's in my area, and it was the AMC that's only a couple
Oh,
miles
yeah.
down from my house, and I was like, okay, forget it.
Because Florida's all got nothing but AMC theaters.
Yes, unless you go to a mall.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
But you guys are all using it still?
No, I'm not. That's why I when everyone was jumping on it, I'm like, no, this can't last. This cannot.
Well, I mean, regardless,
certainly shouldn't
I've
be.
already made my money back. So
okay.
yeah.
But I mean, will you make your money? I mean, here's the thing. Now aren't they changing the whole, like, almost you can only see it like or use it like 4 times out of the month.
That's for new people.
Oh, okay.
My knowledge, that doesn't affect like me and Brian
For a year.
for
Or
a
did
year.
you- Okay. So after the first year, they're gonna nail you, right?
Well, after the first year, I'm going to unnail them. So I just
Always.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. You're still
Or
paying
can't-
$10?
well, yeah,
no. I paid it all up front for the
Oh,
for the
okay.
year.
the stupid cheap price it was for a little while. I forget what it
Wow.
was.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to know what everybody was thinking on that.
No, I'm thinking that I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, I based on what Brian's told me, I know what they were
Yeah.
thinking, but I don't know how they thought it was going to work.
Mm-hmm.
They what they thought is my understanding, or at least my take on it initially, was it's a big data move, but then I'm also like, it's not really that much depth there. It might be a wide audience, but it's not very deep. They're going to see these movies. Well, we already know that because we get those numbers every freaking week.
Well, but the idea being that Brian, especially, would not have gone to the cinema as often as he did without Movie Pass. I think that's what they were shooting
Right,
for.
So they were going to try to hold the theaters hostage by saying, look, we'll block you out and direct our people to other places if you don't cut us in on some of this action here, right?
Well, and the funny thing is, I understand that AMC and Regal and all these places, they're supposed to have the concession stands are supposed to be the source of all of their money, right?
Right. Yeah.
where they really
That's
make
that's the myth we're all believed in.
Yeah, but since they don't give a shit about their concession stands based on the fact that they don't put enough people on them, and the if they figured out a way to the few times that I've gone to a concession stand, like I'm there for, we were there to see Hamlet, which was going to be like a 3.5 hour thing. So we're like, God damn it, we need a pretzel. So I'm waiting for a pretzel.
Just a pretzel.
I'm waiting for a pretzel. And the amount of people I saw who very obviously took one look at the line and said, fuck no, I'm not getting involved with that.
Mm-hmm.
If they captured that, then they would be making actual money. So, but they don't. I mean, there's literally like 12 people standing around waiting for pizzas.
Are you crazy? Employ people? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we don't get like 12 weeks of government mandated vacation there, Dom.
12 weeks. Let me do the math on that. How many days is that?
wait, yeah, what are 12 weeks in metric?
That's it. We had a different currency a few years back, so I'm not sure.
But yeah, I don't know
recall
what
when
they were thinking. And they bought like
They're buying a studio, aren't they?
they're distributing a film. Their name is on a film.
Okay.
Which I'm like, okay, well, how does that tie into what you were going to do? But I don't know. I mean, I still am not sure how, like Netflix makes money, even with 20 gajillion people paying $10 a month or whatever it is. But although I did see an article that was saying the reason for doing all the original content that they're doing is because that's actually cheaper for them than licensing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I'm like, holy shit, that must be some expensive licensing.
Well, you think about that because that's how Disney got them, right? Well, Disney didn't think they were going to do anything, so they said, "Okay, here you go. Here's your contract." Blah blah blah, and then they went, "Whoa, crap! It blew up." So that's why Disney's going into business. And if Disney's going into business, and there's money to be made. So,
yeah.
Well, that's interesting about Netflix, though.
Well, the difference I would say is that Disney was making the stuff anyway. I mean, I don't know, and maybe this is going to happen, but I was not aware that they were going to be like, oh, here's Disney streaming, and now here's this original show we did for Disney streaming. They could basically put all the Star Wars and all the Marvel and hell, even if they just put the contents of the Walt Disney Treasures series on a streaming channel, as long as it was reasonably priced, I would totally buy it. Hell, I would be interested in if you give me a Marvel streaming channel that is like, oh, well, here's all the animated shows. Here's even the animated shows from the 60s that were terrible. Here's the 1970s Japanese Spider-Man where he had a robot with him. No one knows why.
Incredible Hulk TV series. The old one.
Incredible Hulk TV series, yes. Absolutely. I think that they would score so many points if they were basically like, as an example, if it was on before Avengers 4, if they're like in the lead up to Avengers 4, here's the trial of the Incredible Hulk with Daredevil, quote unquote. Here's the Incredible Hulk returns with Thor, quote unquote.
Do we really want people to live through that again?
I want the children of today to appreciate what we went through, Madman. They have no appreciation.
You intentionally would like them to suffer, is what.
Oh, yeah. Oh, rocks.
No, but they see it as quaint. It's like when you tell them about. I just watched California Typewriter about what a typewriter is.
No, my nephews will look at me and go, Uncle D, what is this shit you're watching?
No, they'll laugh their asses off.
They'll laugh because I did that with my nephew. All right, no.
Look at each other and then look at me like, what is this?
They don't even understand that we actually paid quarters into video games.
Yeah, they think we're crazy for that.
I mean, it's like us asking, Widge's great-great-grandmother about churning butter. Just saying.
she probably knew a lot about it.
Well, no, that's the same
This
thing. It's like,
episode
oh
of
my
Leaf
God,
Puppies
do you
Ouija
know
board,
about
we're gonna
churning
talk
butter?
to Witch's great-great-grandma about.
We're gonna have a seance and ask her about butter.
Yeah,
can.
someone call Misty Lee
Hey.
quickly.
Hey, if you go to Toys R Us right now, you can get a Ouija board for like $3.
And
You can?
This is why you die in the movie, John. This is why.
Now, don't use those things. They're gateway. So really, when does Toys R Us close?
Okay, I got my tarot cards.
Okay, tell my future.
What?
I've never done this before.
So
What? Oh, I want to hear. I want a reading.
This is a
3 cards.
That-
3
That's
cards.
a good idea, but somebody who's never done it. It's really
Just
a good
do
idea.
3 cards. 3 cards. Okay,
They're not
shuffle
even
them.
shuffled. They're
They
still
have obviously
in order.
not watched enough
Shuffle
horror
them.
movies, Madman.
Exactly. So
Shuffle
just
them.
so that
thing-
we're clear,
They're actually in German, so
5 of us get full writing credits on based on a real story.
survivors did them,
Oh,
yeah.
watch it. It's gonna be on the Lifetime channel or something.
Oh no, this is going to come out in theaters. You got to think they're doing.
No,
what,
this is going to be on the
Hereditary and
history.
all
This
these
is
other
the
movies
no,
that they're
no.
doing?
This is part of the history occult Nazi history channel.
Whoa!
I'm out.
Ah! Careful!
careful with your words.
Man down.
Don't mention the war.
It's
You know what?
I feel bad for Dom.
Great.
No, no,
Dom-
Now this podcast
You know-
has gained a whole
Wait a
new
second.
audience.
Wait a second.
Look up the
Hold on,
history
Hold on,
channel.
Dom wants to say something.
The
Yeah,
last
alright,
few
we're
times it
good.
was on.
Well,
the
hang on,
last
what-
few times,
When you don't listen to the Germans, you know what
Sorry.
happens. Go on.
I'm not going to shout. I'm sorry. But the last few times it was on, afterwards on Facebook, each time Rob told me, "I'm sorry if I insulted you."
He says that to me all the time too.
But you're
No.
not from Germany. What? He doesn't insult you anyway. Or me.
All right, so shuffle your cards.
No.
Shuffle them. No.
I put
No.
them away.
All
I
right.
got I just remember the Stephen Wright bit where he said I was playing poker with tarot cards.
Yes.
I got a full house and 4 people died.
Yes. Like
I
that.
was throwing them.
You were throwing them. What are you,
No.
Ricky J now?
The thing is, I actually did that for a while, but I was making a joke.
Oh, okay. Wait, you were actually Ricky J for a while.
Yeah, that too. No, I was throwing cards for a while, and I actually read his book on it.
Ah, yes. I
That's
assume a PDF of it, since an actual version is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it somewhere. Let's say like that.
Really?
No, the PDF.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Dom. PDFs of books being available online. Wink, wink.
No, there was a CD that was slipped into my briefcase while I was on the train to make it more Hitchcock. I don't know.
Briefcase on a train, starring Dom.
It's pretty boring, pretty short, but I got a CD out of it.
Nice.
Mm. So
you know what?
I never read that book. So Dom, what is take one of your tarot cards and throw one?
No.
What do you have to do? Because he throws those. It's not a toss, it's a throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cards as weapons.
Yes.
There are different ways to do it because it depends on where you grab. Wait a second. Because
Yeah, use regular cards.
I just want to say, Rox, I like the idea of a Hitchcockian movie where a guy that takes place today, and a guy gets passed a CD with data on it, and 3/4 of the movie is him running around trying to find a CD drive because nobody has one anymore, and he has no idea what the fuck's on it.
That's right. That's right.
it's a mix. It's
And
probably
this
a
is why there
mixtape.
was an episode of Batman Beyond where he literally wrote everything down in binary in the Batcave. On the
That's-
Batcave walls, on all the beams. And it took them the whole episode to
He
figure that
needed
out.
to get out. He needed to get out. Some more. Out.
But you should watch the what was it called? That Magician's movie with Mark Ruffalo in it.
Oh, Now You See Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
Second one is actually pretty good, considering that it's pretty tough to follow.
Yeah.
But in the first one, there is a lot of card throwing going on in one particular scene, and it's pretty good. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah. Yeah, that scene was great. There was a lot of bits in that movie that it was, preposterous but awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it was preposterous, but it knew what it was doing. Everybody who knows what they were doing, what they would need to do in real life, was like, yeah, okay, you get a pass because it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I appreciate films that say, this is what I am. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, that's why Snowpiercer should be a Criterion Collection movie.
That's got to be coming. Oh, speaking of which, Rox, have you seen the trailer for? Speaking of which, Jesus, that's how tired I am. It took me 4 seconds. Whitlag, Rox, have you seen the trailer for the Suspiria remake?
Yes.
What do you think?
I like it.
It looks crazy. I dig it.
It does. I do. Yes. Yes.
And Tilda Swinton's in it, so obviously.
Yeah, you know it. I mean, well, did you ever see Only Lovers Left Alive?
No,
Jim
I never did.
Why did you?
I know. It's on my list.
All right. It's good. I like that film. She's great. She should, just do commercials or be my next door neighbor.
Listen, I would totally support a reality show in which Tilda Swinton is just your next door neighbor.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind if she had a yapping dog and everything. It'd be like going over, yeah, it's Tilda Swinton, sure, her dog. It's got, right now we have this neighbor who has a dog. It doesn't like being outside, and it has separation anxiety. It's just like, if she had a dog, it'd be like, yeah, Kevin, sorry, it's Tilda Swinton. What are you going to do?
What? No, I got it. What it is the neighbor, and she's playing a character.
Yes.
But every time she leaves, you can't stand it. You're like, oh my God, can you believe that was Tilda Swinton? And everyone's like, shh.
Yeah.
I
think actors should just use my neighborhood for, you know how they have to, some try to get, into character and stuff. It's like, come to my neighborhood. You could do that.
Come to Method Land.
Yeah, Method Land. Oh my God. That would be
Meth Land, not Meth Land, but Method Land.
Oh my God, there should be a show.
Not Method Man, Method Land.
How about Method Land with Method Man? It would be similar to the Red Man and Method Man TV show that was on, what was it? Fox or CW for a few years back.
I didn't know that existed, but then again, I don't watch a lot of television.
Red Man and Method Man TV show where they just played themselves.
That's what I do every day.
Fantastic.
You play Method Man and Red Man at the same time?
And myself, yes. It's hard. It's a hard life I have.
It's like
show.
No, it's basically the weirdest version of Orphan Black you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I play with myself every day too.
As Method Man and Red Man?
Yes.
Well, he does it while listening to the Wu-Tang Clan, so.
Yeah.
Nothing like the Wu-Tang Clan for a soundtrack for that.
They were in a soundtrack, right? For who? Who used them?
Sure, they've been just in a lot of soundtracks.
Their own movie, How High?
No, wasn't there? Did they use it for Westworld? No.
No, I don't know.
No, they used it for I think for Handmaid's Tale. I'm not sure.
What?
I think. I don't know. I read so much, it's all blurring now.
Well,
although I wouldn't be surprised if on Westworld they did one of the player piano covers of something from Wu-Tang Clan.
Let's look this up.
Exactly. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, now I know. Everyone's Googling it now.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, what happened to that crazy album that they released one copy of, that jackass
Martin Shkreli?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still in the core. They're not releasing that to anybody.
Oh no, but I know it had been like seized or something. So let's see. I don't know. It's like, is there a good list of soundtrack appearances of songs that weren't originally on this soundtrack?
And they redid it. Hold on. Crap. Oh, they used it a couple weeks ago in Westworld.
Oh, yeah?
I believe. Yes, because of Shogun Land.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what song that they kind of redid, or was it? I think it was that. Sorry.
Yeah, I still haven't started season 2. I know they go to Shogun World. Or whatever.
All right.
Okay. Are you all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I have been watching more masterclass stuff and just inhaling that.
Is that actually worth the money?
I am enjoying the living shit out of it. I have so far watched Malcolm Gladwell, Samuel Jackson, James Patterson. I'm working on the Helen Mirren one and the R.L. Stein one, and I finished the Werner Herzog one. And the Werner Herzog one alone is worth the price of admission. The man is truly a mad genius. But yeah, I have really been enjoying it. And my plan is to get through all of them before my season pass runs out at the end of the year.
Okay, so to segue back to what we originally were talking about with Westworld.
Yeah.
There's a dance scene that I think Rox is referring to, where the Japanese version of Wu-Tang.
That's it. Yes. Yes. That's it. That's it.
It's performed by Ramin
Djawadi. Yeah, the guy who does the soundtrack. He also does the soundtrack, all the music for Game of Thrones as well.
Yes. So it was actually Wu-Tang Clan's Cream.
There we go.
That's it. Okay.
Dropping the text. This is why Rob and Tuffy are supposed to be here.
That was a really great episode. Badass episode.
All the episodes have been really good.
They have been good, yes.
Not as repetitive as season 1.
No, because you didn't need it for fidelity. Did you watch Sundays? How many
yes,
is it 10 episodes or 13? Is that a 10
I do not know.
episode series? All right. Because we're at 7.
In episode 2, they did a version of Kanye West's Runaway.
Yeah.
I mean, episode 2. Right? Did I say season 2? A minute. Let's see.
Oh, cool.
They did Paint It Black, a version of Paint It Black.
Well, that was season 1.
Which, yeah, I think they've done before. This was
they did.
They did a few Radiohead songs.
So they did Paint It Black, but they made it Japanese.
Oh, Jesus, a lot louder than I thought it would be. Hold on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that I knew Judd Apatow was doing a comedy class for Masterclass, but Spike Lee apparently has one coming for filmmaking.
Oh, cool.
That should be fascinating.
Well, so does Marty. You haven't gotten to the Marty one.
No, I haven't gotten to Scorsese yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, directing wise, I mean, Scorsese, Ron Howard.
I'd like to hear if he talks about throwing his mom in his films over the years.
Okay.
I mean, it's like Ron Howard putting Clint Howard in his films.
Oh, that's what I was trying to think of. Speaking of family members doing stuff, I did not know this. What? What? I did not know that Bill Murray and Brian Doyle Murray apparently did a series going around to like, basically like, what's the word for it? Minor league. There you go. Minor league ball club towns, and basically hanging out in the town and seeing what there was to see. Which I'm like, okay, first of all, I was on board from Bill Murray and his brother Brian Doyle Murray. I'm like, okay, what are they doing? I'm good. I'm like, I don't even give a shit about baseball, and I'll still go.
Well, they come down here, so they have a restaurant in in between St. Augustine and here, called Caddy Shack, and every year Bill and his brothers, they have a golf tournament and stuff. He's got a sister who's a nun.
Wow.
And stuff, and I think she shows up every once in a while. So, and I think, so when did they start the baseball thing? Because there's a big.
Just recently. It was just
okay.
Recently.
So recently, or last year, a lot of the ball teams, AAA, your minor leagues, have changed names and stuff. So we had the Jacksonville Suns for like, I don't know, since 1919 or something. So now they're the Jumbo Shrimp.
Okay.
Yeah, Binghamton has the Rumble Ponies. I have no idea what a Rumble Pony is, but we have.
I do. It's where you flip. Oh, never mind. Go on.
So anyway, there's yeah. So there's a lot of these teams that have been around for a long time, and there's a really cool book by Neil Conan who did kind of the same thing. He went around the country. Though his wife let him do this, is he would announce at a lot of the minor league games and stuff. So it's really cool that a lot of the minor league they're like the best buck for family entertainment. You know, like for Jacksonville for years they had a game between innings. You don't have this in Major League, but between innings they would have games. Like in Jacksonville there was Soak the Roach. So a mascot dressed as a giant cockroach would run the bases and somebody would try to super soak them. They let the kids run on the field and stuff like that. So, John, you've gone to minor league games with your kids, right? Mm-hmm. So who do you have? I mean, you got the Tampa Bay Rays.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have a minor league?
Yeah, sorry. I was swallowing. Yeah, we have the deal is we have a bunch of actual major league their farm teams down here because we got the whole Grapefruit League. Actually, you're in Jacksonville, you have the same thing.
Yeah,
but we have the Yankees train here, so the Tampa Bay Yankees. We have the Blue Jays, which is Dunedin Blue Jays. We have the Clearwater. Are they the Sharks or the Bombers? The Bombers is a softball team. I want to say the Sharks, but I think they are the minor league team for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have a ton of them around here. But I think the only one that's not named what is the farm team for, I think, is the Sharks. I'll look that up now, actually.
Yeah, in Atlanta, we have the Gwinnett Richmond Braves, but they're out in Rome, Georgia, and they have the Gwinnett Stripers as well, and they're both part of the Braves farm system. And they want the stadium in Rome is actually really, really nice, considering there's really not much in Rome. It's a really nice stadium.
When in Rome, go to their stadium.
Exactly.
Thrashers.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
I believe you'll find, John, that the stadium in Rome is called the Colosseum.
What do you call and see them?
Why does my spleen hurt? It does hurt.
All right, so Bill Murray's show is called
kid,
Extra Innings. Extra Innings. So what's Facebook Watch? What is that?
That is apparently a streaming service that Facebook has that's so popular, I didn't know it existed until like 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
You're not their demographic, apparently.
What is their demographic?
So what? They
not you.
get more information.
Just not me. That's a huge demographic. Just not Widge.
What was I going to say? I forget what it is.
Breathe.
I was laughing at what Dom said.
They have a huge like slate of shows, most of which I never knew freaking existed. Like at all.
It's like Amazon Prime in Germany then.
Really? You guys don't get streaming Prime?
We do get it, but Netflix just looks at it and laughs.
So Extra Inning has like 100 and something thousand fans.
Oh, on Facebook.
Yeah, on the Facebook. On the Facebook.
That's right. I was like, yes, that's right. That's where, because that's one of their shows, right? I'm not confusing that with something else. Is that right?
Extra Innings.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yes.
Yeah, we know the name. Who's asking you is
What?
Is it one of the Facebook shows?
I don't know. They're just showing clips.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
basically looking that up is part of what led me to go, holy shit, look at all these shows I've never heard of.
Has anybody watched Cobra Kai?
No.
No.
I need to.
I never
well.
liked Karate Kid.
I don't think liking it is a prerequisite.
No, it was no. The prerequisite to get out of high school, you had to watch at least 9 hours of it over and over
Cannot
again.
write in mirror.
We all had to watch it in order to graduate.
Introductions. Oh.
What are those?
What?
Introductions.
Oh, is that what we want to do? Is that how we're trying to get out of Cobra Kai talk?
I haven't watched it either. That's all.
Well, it was either that or Sweep the Leg.
The reason I just want to see it because the idea of doing a series and bringing back Ralph Macchio and Cobra Kai
that guy, we don't know who he is, but yeah.
Well, I should know his name because he actually
is the hero of that film.
Well, he let's see. William Zabka. That's his name. And he, what was it that I was saying? That he basically has he has an Academy Award nomination.
For what?
He for co-writing and producing a film. It was it's a Czech film.
Huh.
So it was not that 1 year where they said, let's nominate the leg sweeping.
No, this is basically best short film. Nominated for best short film.
Was this an adult?
Was this a what?
Adult film. Brown chicken, brown cow. Yeah.
Let's see.
Czech film, I assumed.
They only make
From
it
2003. Yeah.
That's my only form of reference with Czech cinema. I'm sorry.
Oh, Czech. I thought you were saying chick.
Yeah, it's an adult.
Award for
film.
best chick flick goes to that one guy who swept the leg.
Not the same.
2018. It's 2018.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, that's all right. What?
All right. Oh my God! So I'm looking at the list of things.
The list of all things?
No,
Holy shit!
The list of shows that are produced by Facebook.
Facebook Watch, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know those existed?
I did because the Ball family, it's a family of
Balls? Oh.
on the eldest went to UCLA and plays for the LA Lakers.
Oh, yeah. He's the guy who was like the Q for Inspector Clouseau, Professor Balls.
Yes, that guy.
Okay, cool.
But, they have their own show on there as well. Because he has 2 other sons that are both playing ball overseas. Long story short, they follow the family around, and it's a reality series. But I met someone a few weeks ago who's I forget what they do on this show. But I'm like, wait a minute, why have I never heard of this? It's a Facebook show, Makeup or Breakup.
And what's it about?
Either you want to make up or you want to break up.
It's a reality show. It has 2 seasons and 26 episodes. That's all I know.
Exactly. Makeup or breakup. Now we got to find the person.
We've been here for 5 hours. You want to do introductions now?
Oh,
Yeah.
look, it's the
Are we
voice
doing that?
Robo Era. Yeah, we can. Why not?
Sunny Island, that doesn't matter.
From the island that doesn't matter. From the island that had a very substantial vote recently.
Yeah.
What? Anyway. All right. So, fine. We'll do introductions, and we'll do them starting now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Weekend Justice, the Weekend Justice podcast here on needcoffee.com, the #1 audio internet train wreck. We're here in the Hall of Weekend Justice with the Weekend Justice League, and I will endeavor to introduce them going from my right to your left. We have Madman is here. Hello, Madman.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hell if I know. Rox Spaz House is here. Hello, Rox.
Wow, I'm second. Good evening.
Good evening. Also, Dom is
First in our
here.
hearts. Go on. Sorry.
Dom is here, despite what everyone says. Hi, Dom.
I'm here, kind of.
He's here. He's really here. And, of course, we got John for the Unique Geek. Hi, John. So say we all.
Please don't.
So let's see. Let me bring up the non-agenda.
that was
Han Solo. Han Solo.
Oh, yeah, I haven't
that.
seen it.
Oh,
No,
You haven't
nobody
seen
else.
it?
Nobody else has seen it either. Apparently,
I've seen it.
I saw it.
I saw it that day.
I
Well-
saw it weeks ago.
Around like
I saw it that day as well.
But one
that day.
I saw
Don't
it
you
on
remember?
Friday at noontime because I could.
Yeah.
in
Okay.
the
That's
working class.
what I put on the non-agenda. Everything after
Where
it
is
came
the
out.
agenda?
It's in Google Docs.
Oh, I gotta find it.
It's in
No,
the cloud.
Let me drop
Just
the
look in the
link.
cloud. It's there.
Here.
It's
See?
hard.
Look, Dom's being all helpful and stuff.
Thank you.
Anyway, basically, it just seemed like everyone was having a field day talking about how poorly, relatively speaking, Solo did at the domestic box office. And I just don't get where that was coming from, especially
Who
because
was-
everything I've heard says that it was fun.
It was fun. It wasn't
Yeah,
anything groundbreaking or anything. It
I-
really
I-
wasn't.
I
But-
think that's the point, though. I think it's the only story that's kind of interesting to tell because the movie, it doesn't offend anybody aside from the people who are offended by its sheer existence.
It offends George Lucas.
No, I don't think it does anymore.
It does because Han shot first.
But that's actually great moment of fan service in there. But I think George Lucas is just sitting there and saying, well, everybody
Going,
else now
"I
gets the
made
hate.
money today.
Does he still get money? I mean, after the
Yep.
4 billion?
After 4 billion, Dom, compound interest is you make money when you're on the toilet.
Yeah, that's the point. But does he make more money when Solo sits on the toilet?
Yes, he does.
It's not, to my knowledge, it's not that kind of movie, Dom.
Yeah.
I've seen it. You don't.
No.
Be surprised.
I liked it.
A new kind of
I mean,
spoiler.
it wasn't anything, it was fun. It was that fun film.
I felt very home in that movie. I just could have watched another 2 in the same tone. immediately afterwards. The only thing kind of bad about the experience was I had seen every trailer, so I had seen too many of the money shots.
Oh, see, I just saw the one.
They had to put those money shots into the trailer though, otherwise, the results would have been even worse at the box office.
Yeah.
So, Lucas does get paid in a way. He had
what, free hand jobs? What?
No attention when he tries to do anything and give input.
And that's why he has this fascination with cutting off people's hands.
Whoa.
He received half of his payment in Disney stock. So he got 37 million shares in Disney, and according to this, as of the 2015, it had already grown in $2.2 billion in value.
And today we will look this up. Disney stock is Disney.
So he got 4.5 billion plus 3.7 or 37 million shares of stock.
Ooh, darn. It was down today at $99.94.
So he is now George McDuck.
Yes.
Well,
is it George? Isn't it like Scrooge?
Yeah, of course
McDuck?
it's Scrooge McDuck. I just mixed them up because it's George Lucas.
Oh. You can't swim in like all those coins.
Yes,
You'll get hurt.
Rox
All right.
has tried.
Yes, you can.
Did they do that on Mythbusters?
No, but we should probably pitch it.
Somebody
because they tried. They tried
hurt
doing
themselves.
it. They did that on Family Guy, and he just like, ow, ow.
Yeah, that was a good documentary.
Yeah.
But a bathtub full of, I don't know, money in bills. But that would be
bills would be. Oh God, yeah. Human
I'm
money
just
is so
reinventing a
filthy.
proposal thing. It is wonderful to roll around in a bed full of money. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. There.
So you okay?
File that under
Stuff that Madman knows that we want to know why.
Exactly. Just take look.
So I didn't know it was getting bad reviews. I sort of stayed away. I mean, I did see one where it was like it was lazy. They didn't say it was good or bad. They said it was lazy.
But what's
normally
lazy?
that's not seen as good.
Okay. But it's like he's a slacker guy anyway. So
Who, Ron Howard or Han Solo?
Han Solo. But we did see Clint. Clint's still being paid. Clint got a cameo.
I mean, if he came in so late in the game that I'm surprised there was a film at all, really, to be honest with you. From what I understand, the previous director just sort of screwed everything up. Yeah.
The Lego Movie guys. What a great idea.
Well,
what's interesting though is that they do the stuff. I like a lot of their stuff though.
I like them. But how does
Lego
this
movie trailer today?
How does this work? You see the Lego Movie and you decide those guys, Star Wars, definitely.
Well, but look at it this way. It's like you watch The Incredibles and then you grab Brad Bird to direct Mission Impossible, and he delivers the first excellent movie in that franchise. And then he turns around and does Tomorrowland, which was fantastic, but poorly marketed.
Yeah.
There's
but
The Incredibles works on so many levels, and the Lego Movie is just a laugh fest.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily, man. I mean, and here's the deal: the Lego Movie's still superior to Ready Player One any day.
It is.
And it's using the same material.
Kinda.
I see what you're saying. The pop culture area. So yeah, it's using all pop culture to make its jokes, right?
Exactly.
So that means it'll be dated in 5 years.
No, because I mean, like okay, I've not seen the Lego Movie, but I have seen Ready Player One, and
everything's awesome in that movie.
That's what I've heard.
Everything is awesome.
In Ready Player One, it's like it's already dated in that everything is basically referencing back to the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's dated, but by being dated, it's kind of not dated because it's it's just all the stuff that's immortal anyway.
Well, is it a better 80s? Is Ready Player One better 80s homage than Stranger Things?
No, I wouldn't even compare them because Stranger Things is like Stranger Things is trying to be an 80s movie as a TV show melded with that genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
it plays in the 80s.
Yes. But whereas Ready Player One is very definitely trying just to be something else, but referencing back to the 80s out of love for that era. It's kind of like, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first film, is kind of a throwback to the 80s just because I'm convinced it is basically a really terrible sci-fi movie from the 80s, but made well and with a budget.
Oh.
And the thing about Ready Player One is it feels so indie because of its story. It is a little charming book in a way, but it's with Steven Spielberg at the helm and the big budget feels kind of weird to me because the story is just saying, hey, I'm this quirky little indie movie. But then you get these CGI fest scenes. It's kind of weird.
Which I enjoyed. There's a prolonged Stephen King reference in there through which I laughed my fucking ass off the moment I realized what was happening. I don't think I stopped laughing through that entire sequence.
Did you do what I did and thought, don't go there. No.
No.
It was the first time I ever did that in a movie. Just don't go over there, please.
Well, basically, you could hear it was brilliant because, and without spoiling anything for anybody, but they set it up with a character who didn't know what was going on, so you could it was perfect. If you didn't know what was going on, you were with that character, and if you did know what was going on, you were with them, but also, had the dramatic irony thing going on. So it was so perfectly executed. I was just I was amazed. I was able to be as surprised and as pleased as I was, seeing as how I was so busy laughing my ass off at what they were doing.
I was so amazed by the look of it. It just looked like they stepped into that movie.
Yes. Oh,
because I had watched it 2 months ago, and I was like, "It's just the same thing."
I know. I want to see the behind the scenes stuff because I'm like, was that practical? Because it looked like a set.
It wasn't. I was also wondering if they rebuilt that set, but no, it was CGI as far as I know.
They could have with that budget. They could have fucking done it. So. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it, and I have the audiobook, which I need to listen to. So
that would be a great extended cut. Just the whole original movie, just with them wandering around in it.
Yeah, just in the background, like
Oh, what's happening now? Don't go there. I told you before. Don't.
Oh my God, you're basically describing Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, but for that film.
You know what I hate? The fact that you made me buy that movie and that Blu-ray won't play on my Blu-ray player.
So it taunts you. It taunts you.
How did I make you buy that movie?
Because whenever I listen to you, you say, that's a great, great play. It's a great movie. And you're probably right.
Wait a minute. Do you not have cheap-ass Blu-ray players over there that you can hack into being region-free?
That was easy with DVDs. With Blu-rays, it's a bit trickier.
Can't you just download
it? I
mean, I already bought it. I don't have any. If somebody would slip a CD into my briefcase.
Actually, if it's like a high def version, it would be several CDs.
That's fine. I only have one briefcase, and it's always empty.
That's. To that point, though. I mean, you legally own it, so.
It's really weird because I think it is the British Blu-ray. It should be. I don't know. It's all fucked up.
So it's region B, I think is.
It's region fuck you, Dom.
Region Region B.
I will try it on my computer. Sometimes it works.
Region.
Yeah, hang on a second. This is weird because it's
Wow.
Blu-ray. Blu-ray. Yeah. Okay. Region B is supposed to work for like Europe.
I know.
And
yeah, but
UK.
They anticipated Brexit. I don't know.
I was going to say this came out before Brexit, so.
But when did you buy it, Dom? Was it post-Brexit?
There's not a remote control for the Blu-rays. It would be fun, but there isn't.
Like, we're leaving and we're going to screw up all of your DVD watch.
Damn the suppression.
So Solo was good.
It was.
Yes.
Best joke, by the way, just the Millennium Falcon flying away at a certain point in the movie. Best joke.
Oh, I'm having a hard time remembering what that is.
That was the standoff.
Oh, yes. Now I know what you're talking about.
That was really the best joke in the movie, and it's just nobody's acting. It's just it's great.
Donald Glover did an amazing job too.
He did.
I really wish there was more of him in the film.
But he didn't steal the film. In none of the scenes, it was very respectable, and I don't know, to all of the characters. But the highlight was probably the most original part was the co-pilot, the droid.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she was cool. Yes.
Well, they sort of did that. I mean, it's essentially the same character. Well, not the same character as Rogue One. I mean, it had pretty much the same arc.
The arc, but motivation completely different.
Everybody dies. Oh, if you haven't seen Rogue One, by the way.
Well, in the end, when Thanos gets the gauntlet.
Oh God.
Did we discuss whether or not he's dead? Did we discuss that here? I think we did.
Who?
Thanos.
He's not dead.
Oh, is that one of the theories that he's dead?
Well, I mean, he's got a 50-50 chance.
No.
But you saw him after the fact.
Right, but you saw him in some strange land where he's,
Well, some have speculated.
Having other visions.
Some speculation says that that's the end of the next movie.
Could be. It's possible.
Or the beginning of the next one. Oh, I'm fading away. The gauntlet is alone. Well, that was easy.
No, or I did my job and then I went home. I told you exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I'm going to go sit my ass down and watch the sunset.
I'm going to Disney World. It's going to be less crowded.
And I don't have those annoying daughters fighting for my attention.
Or any of that crap.
If Alan Moore would have written that movie, it would have been really short. I did it 8 minutes ago.
So last time did we talk about Deadpool?
I have not seen Deadpool, but
neither have I.
You have Movie Pass and you didn't see Deadpool.
Or Solo.
And yet I know
Or
all
Solo.
of the spoilers for that film already. So I'm good. Please,
I've seen it.
speak freely among yourselves.
I can flee if I need to, so you guys can talk about it.
There is no need to spoil
There's
Deadpool.
no, yeah, there isn't. It's fun.
Have you seen Deadpool 1?
Yeah,
There you go. You're done.
there is no
You've
spoilers.
seen the sensitive version of this film.
Yeah, Deadpool 2, more jokes, less taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
And none of this
But am
sensitive
I
guy
happy about
stuff.
this?
Although actually there is a bit of that too.
It's a fun ride. Peter is as funny as he is in the trailer. And Domino actually works pretty good. I think
Yeah.
you could copy paste her into a serious X-Men movie. It would totally work. I liked her.
Yeah, I liked her too. I thought that she was probably the best, well, certainly the most coordinated out of the X Factor folks.
Yeah.
Not
X-Force.
not X
X-Force,
Factor.
I'm sorry. X
That would
Factor's
have been
next.
funny as well. Deadpool 3, the musical.
Yeah.
Nope. Stop giving away free scripts. They're going to put that in the next movie.
Oh, please, I want to see them try.
I doubt it.
There is a scene in Deadpool that I mean, I'm sure you guys all know what it is. It was most hilarious thing I've seen on film in a long
Oh, is that the one the homage to?
Yes.
Yeah. I actually went, "Oh no, you didn't." In the theater, I was horrified.
Just that whole scene.
I was horrified.
I kind of saw it coming. I don't know.
I was thinking, no, they're not going to.
How could you? It was so small.
No. Then I went, oh, wow.
Well, the original, it was smaller. I don't know. But I had one of those people behind me in the theater who, I'm getting really picky about people in the theater going on my nerves. But that one, it was just, people who laugh a little bit too loud just to let everybody know they got the joke.
That's me, but
Wait, huh? Wait. Who are we talking
Nobody
about?
corrects me when I do it, but go ahead.
Well, in the credits, there's this one moment when it says this movie supported this in many work hours and it's good for the economy, essentially, that we made this movie. And he laughed because he thought it was a joke.
Nice.
Yeah, that kind of guy.
Did you just
Leslie Uggams needs an Oscar for that movie. She needs to work more.
Oh, the blind. What's her name? Blind.
Yeah, Leslie Uggams.
She was. Really
I don't know
good,
her
man.
name.
Blind.
Wow.
Yes, Blind Al. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I did like that little cameo about why
Which one?
the academy the academy is always empty.
Oh, that one that happened inside the house.
Whatever. What do they call it? Xavier Land. What?
They call it Xavier Land. That's exactly what they call it.
School for Gifted Youngsters.
Yeah. Okay.
The school for gifted youngsters at Xavier Land. Sometimes it's called Xavier Land.
They're gonna make that for
Walt
Disney.
Disney World, Magic
Disney's
Kingdom.
gonna make that Xavier Land. They are.
Uh-oh.
Unless
Saying.
that
They're
dog
gonna
is
do
saying
that.
it.
Who left that dog out?
Oh, that's me.
Is that your dogs?
Yes.
Your dogs.
Loud barking dogs.
You're gonna ruin this show. All right. Okay. So I know everybody told me to watch this film last year, and I couldn't. I couldn't get through the entire Baby Driver movie.
Really?
How dare
I
you?
could not. I could not.
Wow.
And I'm all about the heist film and everything. And I knew the little cute thing, words popping up for songs.
Was it because of Kevin Spacey?
No.
Okay.
No, it was the kid. It was the mumble crap going on. It's just like, oh dear God, I know this happens in indie films, but really? Actually, no, I was having problems with and I like Edgar Wright. Don't get me wrong. I love Hot Fuzz, but this was not, I don't know. No, couldn't do it. Could not finish it.
Really?
Could not. It's like, we're going to knock over the post office.
But you would have found so many ways to get around downtown Atlanta on your bike if you just watched it.
I know. Actually, the best person I thought was the nephew, who actually is like, oh yeah, it's 8 cameras, 11 cameras, 8 people.
It was
blah,
a great
blah, blah.
character.
Yeah, it's a great character. Totally, not used.
And he also told you how to treat this movie, how seriously it was taking itself. It was good.
I tried, which was not to take it seriously. I really did. And I just
the most annoying thing for me was sitting there as a person that has lived and worked in downtown Atlanta, watching.
You're like, no. You're like,
all literally watching.
Did it make even sense? Or you're like, no, you're like, no.
Come on, guys, this guy's.
You're going the wrong way.
You're going down the same street. Why didn't you just run into Stark and Wald while you were there?
Yep.
Fix this really quickly.
Yep.
Or
it's like, where's the Dragon Con parade?
My biggest issue with it, as far as that's concerned, is the fact there were no cars on the road.
I know.
Exactly. It's Atlanta. We've always got traffic.
Always. It's
It's
like,
like
I
3 in the
could
morning,
have
there'd
been
still
in
be a
that.
traffic jam.
I could have been biking in the background.
Total crap.
It's like there was an indie film that did a film here in Jacksonville. Now Jacksonville has I think it has more bridges than Chicago. However, it was the actor that played Newman from Seinfeld. He plays a cop. But long story short, a bunch of friends, I don't know, accidental death, and they're trying to dump a body. They're driving over every single bridge in Jacksonville and the surrounding areas. Like, wait a minute, they just went over that one. And everybody in the theater is like, no, they just went over, they're going over the Acosta Bridge again. Just like, okay, no. The money order thing, I had a problem with that. That's when I stopped.
Hamburg, Germany, by the way, is the city with the most bridges.
Which city?
All right.
Hamburg.
Oh, okay.
So Baby Driver 2 is going to be in Hamburg. That's right.
So that will be expensive for them.
Really, Rox, it seems like the problem boils down to the fact that you disapproved of their methodology for performing a successful heist.
Maybe. I liked Driver better.
Really?
Wait, Drive or Driver?
Whatever the
Really?
Gosling film. Yeah, I
Really?
liked that. I liked that.
You like that Style of a Substance music video? Okay, duly noted.
Yeah.
Well, there were two things I liked about Drive. One, it was the most intense car chase I've ever seen, in which at certain points the cars were standing still. I liked that. And
Okay.
the second thing is his little psychotic break in the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I don't understand why he's playing this character this way. And then that explained it all for me, but it still didn't make me enjoy the film.
So you're like me. You respect the movie, but you don't like it.
I appreciate what it was trying to do. Let's put it that way.
That's harder, even.
So, okay, I still have like an hour left. I stopped. So, is this Edgar Wright's like homage to an American heist film? I mean, what if he did a British version? Which would be Hot Fuzz, but you know.
Well, no, Hot Fuzz was Michael Bay's Midsummer Murders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right.
What?
That all checks out. All right.
Isn't that what Edgar Wright personally said, actually? In a way?
He might have. I never heard it. That was just my take off of watching the film.
Okay.
Is oh my God, I see what he's doing and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it was more, for me, there is a huge debate in my head, which I still have not settled on, as to exactly how much of the film is actually happening.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, generally when you, and to me, that entire sequence at the beginning where he's going through the city, getting the coffee, and the words are appearing on that doesn't happen.
No,
Therefore,
that does not happen.
We're dealing with some kind of weird heightened reality, or
Okay.
And the other thing that I appreciated about it was it is very hard for me to not have music going. So I appreciate the whole. Or I appreciate both. Oh, I'm trying to get away from the cops, but wait, I need soundtrack music to this, and also no, wait, well, you fucked it up. I got to back up the track. Now go.
Right.
I think the movie has problems at about 70% of its running time, but before that, it's just fun. Was it too precise? The last act, so to speak, and the ending is a little bit off, but The chases are all extreme fun. I love the fact when
the
they have
chases are good. It's the stuff in between. It's just like, wait, do you really have to I mean, the heavy tropes. I don't. It's I mean, I don't know. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think Witch wanted to say something.
No, I was just gonna say I don't, and I've had this discussion with Rob, and I don't think either of us can decide. Things like that, like, the heavy tropes and the words on the wall, and it all makes sense if it's mostly happening in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why a lot of the stuff, like you were saying, I think the shift you're talking about, 70% in, where it starts to turn a little bit, I'm still going, wait, how much of this is real? I have a theory about it, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
He kind of filters the reality through the music and turns it into a musical. That's what I got from it.
Yeah, it has a tendency to feel like a musical that's not a musical. And it has Dom, you're right in that it does have musical. It has the attributes of a musical, like when they're in the laundry,
right?
And you have the colors, the primary colors spinning behind them. That's, I mean, one of them is about to burst into song at any moment. That's a good point.
I mean, at the same time, it doesn't have the okay, you can do whatever you want factor that I get from Blues Brothers, because that's just after the beginning, after the opening, you're already okay, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm with you on this. But what I love about Baby Driver was they had me with the car chases. The effective usage of an SUV that's just destroying itself while he's driving it, it was excellent.
I was hoping, I was relying on that. So are you saying John Hamm is Billy Bigelow from Carousel? Just that was specifically for you Broadway people. You're welcome.
That's why I felt like a 90-year-old man fresh out of the ice. Okay.
I'm talking about B, and that rhymes with D, and that stands for driver.
We have trouble in River City.
Trouble in River City.
That's right. So that's my rant for the day. Maybe I'll watch the other hour later on.
I don't think the movie is going to win you over.
No.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Because really, the first half is the best part of it.
Okay.
I enjoyed the whole thing, but
I did too. But I think that if you have to say which part is better, than the beginning and up until the middle is really the best, strongest part.
Oh yeah, well the opening sequence for me was great. Both the car chase and the Harlem Shuffle music video, basically.
Yeah, and it does something that movies rarely manage to do, because when I was watching it, I thought, wow, I know what I'm going to listen to the next few weeks. Then I put the soundtrack on Spotify, and I thought, wow, for me, this only works with the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's good music, but I have a very weird taste, so really didn't work without the pictures. And silence.
You can't listen to Harlem Shuffle without the movie?
Of Harlem Shuffle.
Well, not every individual track, but as a soundtrack.
All right. Okay. I was starting to worry about you for a second.
Don't you worry. We play German music here the last time I was on, so if you recall that.
So what's coming up in films? What's the big other than they
Incredibles 2.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's your friend.
All right.
Ant-Man and Wasp are dropping in the next month or so.
Okay.
That's going to be exciting.
But today they dropped a new trailer for the Lego 2 movie. That's going to be on the way. They have now officially sent out a trailer for the Transformers spinoff for the Bumblebee movie.
Because everybody was asking for that. Everyone was asking for it.
And right now, just based on the trailer, it actually looks good. They've got him out of the Camaro and back into the Yellow Bug. One of the things Nicole noted, because it's Transformers is her franchise, that and Fast and the Furious. So it's like I see those movies because my wife watches those movies. And so it's like, all right, as long as the robots are like shooting each other, I'm good. I don't really look for a plot. But one of the things she noticed from the trailer is that she thinks what happens is the young girl that's in the trailer is actually living in the original, one of the original Wiki houses from the first film. But we'll see. I've got to go back and verify all of that. So there's that. The Bumblebee movie got dropped today. And then over the past week, there's been a few things in the female revenge genre that have dropped that actually look good. The first one with Jennifer Garner returning to a little bit of action, and Peppermint, about a woman who wakes up from a coma and her family's been murdered, and she just snaps and goes on revenge.
Yeah, from the people who brought you Taken.
Yeah. So,
okay. So it's not a live action Charlie Brown movie where she awakens and goes after Lucy for pulling the football away from Charlie.
exactly.
And isn't Ocean's 8 right around the corner right now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's this weekend.
That's this weekend.
I do want to see that, but I also want to see Hotel Artemis.
I so want to see
Miller and Moore.
What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't know.
Which think carefully before you answer this question.
I don't have an alibi yet. I don't have an alibi yet.
All right. Hold on.
I'm holding.
All right. Well, I will get back to you within the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
An operator.
You don't have to alibi.
I may have extra passes to the screening for Hotel Artemis tomorrow. Because
Okay then.
Me and Nicole are going, and I know someone who gave up their passes.
Oh, sweet.
So, yeah.
Oh, Hotel Artemis is actually pretty much.
Lord.
No, I just read the plot. I mean, not the whole plot, but
It's got Jodie Foster in it.
and what I like about it is that it's pretty much what's his face? What's the name of the movie?
John Wick.
Where the dog dies, Keanu Reeves.
John Wick.
John Wick. It's pretty much the hotel from John Wick.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's got Jodie Foster.
I want to see Jurassic World just because I was promised dino surfing. And if I don't get it, I'm going to be pissed.
Just walk out of the movie.
I'll fucking leave. I'll be like, God damn it.
We can't have
Will you wait till the end to see if
anything
there's dino surfing though? Then you'll walk out?
Probably not. And I do want to see Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot. That looks hilarious. I mean, serious, but hilarious at the same time.
I would give $1 to the person who goes to see the new Jurassic Park movie, and after Jeff Goldblum's speech is over, he just stands up and says, "Well, best part is over. I'm going."
I'll do it.
You have to film it.
My paycheck finds a way.
And I do have to go see Mission Impossible Fallout. God help me.
Oh,
looks great.
On that one.
Have you seen the interview where Simon Pegg said when they first shot his first Mission Impossible, which I think was 3, that they had this car chase with him and Cruise in the car, and they kept activating the seat heating for each other to prank each other the whole time. It was intense because at the end he said he went to the crew and got a little bit of black duct tape to put it over Cruise's LED that shows that it was on, so Cruise would check it. No, it's off. Okay, and then his bum got really hot. Children.
And The Predator is scheduled for September 14th and doesn't look interesting at all.
Which is weird, considering the director.
Yeah.
Who's directing that?
Oh, what's Shane Black.
Yeah.
Who was in the original Predator.
Was he?
Yes. He's the guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
basically the deal is they brought him in as a script doctor for the first film, and we're like, well, shit, you're here. Why don't you just be in the be one of the squad? And he was.
Well, at least he brought us Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Lethal Weapon, and the best Iron Man. So I just love to say that Iron Man 3 is the best Iron Man because people hate me when I say it.
Oh no! I mean, I would say it is the best Tony Stark movie.
Yes.
Because I like the fact it's basically Tony Stark in a James Bond film.
I like that it has a theme and it actually brings it home.
Your blasters only.
All right, Wedge, it looks like I have that additional pass.
Oh, sweet.
So I will shove that over to you shortly.
Yeah, send me some info.
Will do. I'm just going to shoot you the entire pass.
Drinka.
Bring it out.
Oh,
so also we have, there was a really interesting trailer that dropped this week. And it's called Widows with Viola Davis. And it's basically John Barenthal, Liam Neeson, a bunch of guys. They're all criminals, and they rob the wrong dudes. And the SWAT standoff goes wrong, and they all get blown up. Like from the beginning, it's in the trailer. And the widows are left to deal with their debts.
Whoa!
I take this line down, and they're just like, Viola Davis is like, no, this is complete and utter bullshit. I got a plan.
Wow.
So
okay.
It looks fantastic, but we'll see if it holds water.
And another trailer that dropped was Wreck-It Ralph 2, which, well, I think is funny just because you have all of the Disney princesses showing up all at once.
Ooh.
Which I thought was amusing.
We want equal pay.
And the new Mortal Engines trailer dropped. It looks mad enough for me to want to see it. Completely insane. Predatory cities on huge tank treads.
It does. Cities. Yes, that's all. I agree. Yeah, big tank tread cities. We should have those now.
Because I haven't read the books a couple of weeks ago.
Hey, here's a news flash. No one's reading.
That's not. You know where I was shamed into that? We were in England, and there is in Bath. The city is called Bath, and there's a really amazing bookstore, and they offer a book spa, which is you tell them what you like to read, and they come up with a list of new books, and they sit down with you and say, well, these are the ones we think are the best for you. They tell you a little bit about it, and yeah, then you get a voucher. It's pretty much like a therapy session.
Whoa! All right, book bar.
Book spa.
Is it book spa or books bar?
Book bar, like a bar.
S-P-R-A-A. Sorry, my German.
Oh, spa. Oh, a book spa.
Yes.
I will write it down for you.
I thought it was a books bar.
Yes, they read to you while they give you a full bath.
Whoa.
They drown you in books. That's pretty much.
I like that.
It's a brothel.
It's a nice idea, and it's a pretty good bookstore.
Okay, cool. So I'm heading out.
Okay.
I'm heading out.
Do you have any recommendations before you go?
Oh my God! So I stole this book from the library.
She recommends Pity Theft.
I do.
You stole from the library? Are you insane?
Well, all right. Well, not really. It's for our pop-up book sale. So, for my little organization that I am perpetual president over, this was in the bins. I took it home. It is The Funny Little Woman, retold by Arlene Moselle and pictures by Blair Lent, and it was produced in 1972, and I remember this book. So it's this little Asian woman Long ago in old Japan, there lived a funny little old woman who liked to laugh, who liked to make dumplings out of rice. So anyway, the cool thing is she goes where the Onis are, where the demons are. It's really cool because she has to cook for them and she escapes. And it's a great book. So the funny little woman. It's probably totally on PC now. Just saying.
You think?
I think. So yeah, and here's some fat Oni, some demons. This was back in the day when you could make demon picture books for little children back in the 70s. And they win Caldecott awards. That's important. This got an award. So anyway, that's what I got.
Cool. Thanks, Rox.
All right. See you guys next time.
All right. Bye.
You know what also is no longer PC?
A Mac?
Yeah. Very nice. 16 Candles. I watched that for the first time the other day.
Yes,
wow.
Not. It is not.
It didn't age well. No. Really not at all.
Well, most things don't, right? This is the kind
I know I haven't.
You're not PC anymore either.
I know.
Not at all. But it's all the scotch. It's okay. But in all seriousness, this is a topic that I talk about in other forums as well. That constantly comes up on Twitter. It's like people really don't get just how the level of privilege that comes out and the amount of things that you go back and watch later, and you're like, oh my god, really bad. Even though it was accepted at the time. Like, even with me, I listen to a lot of comedy on the way into work, right? So, and I'll go listen to older things, and I'm like, what the hell why did we think this was funny?
Yeah.
Even Bill Hicks, who's brilliant, has a few lines where like, oh, wow, that's really offensive towards homosexuals. And he didn't think it was bad at all, I think. But there was another time.
It's like, no, you were just a jackass. Just accept it.
That's all right. America's trying to get great again and go back to those times.
Yeah, well, the only good thing possibly that could come from that is that Bill Hicks and George Carlin come back. So
I keep waiting for Bill Hicks, like King Arthur, to return. He goes to the lake. The lady of the lake holds out a thing of cigarettes and throws it to him. That's what I want.
The thing when you said hold out, I knew it wasn't going to be a sword, and I was thinking cigarettes, and you were saying cigarettes.
I mean, what else could it be? What else, honestly, could it be?
More cigarettes. I don't know.
That's when he goes. Basically, she throws him the cigarettes, a pack of cigarettes, and he's like, "That's it." And so she throws him a second pack and tells him to fuck off.
Like
a lighter.
I walked here half an hour. I already smoked 3 packs. It's like that joke with the lighter. One of the best, simplest jokes I've ever heard. You know which one I mean, right?
I have no
Remind me.
When he's calling to the audience, do we have any smokers here? How much do you smoke? And they say, I don't know, 3 packs. Whatever they say, he says lightweight. I go through 3 lighters a day. It's the best, simplest joke I've ever
heard. Yes.
That sounds like lung cancer, whatever
it was. What was happening in the background? Was that the dog again?
No, that's actually so. I have 2 dogs, and an African gray parrot that talks. So the noise that you sometimes hear in the background, it's the bird.
The bird talks. Okay.
Yes, the bird talks. It's not a television. It's not,
No, I thought for a second the dog would talk.
No,
I thought I missed something in school.
The dog only talks, if you eat the mushrooms.
Or if you read Terry Pratchett.
Or if you watch Look Who's Talking Now.
Oh, God.
What?
Deep cuts. Very deep cuts.
Yeah, well, the first cut is the deepest. That's what I've heard.
That's where we're going today.
Yep. Oh, that's what's happening.
Baby, I know.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
What I do need to know though is how deep is your love, Widge?
I mean, I really need.
Do you really need to know?
Yes, I really need to know.
Oh, okay.
We are clearly living in a world of fools that keep bringing us down.
They should really just let it be.
Exactly.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
I want to.
You guys gonna make me go upstairs and get more whiskey.
You started.
What, whiskey?
I never took part in one of these, and I'm glad that I started it.
You started a joke.
Yes, it's worse.
That got the whole podcast singing.
It's far worse with the live audience.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. On a completely different topic.
And now for something completely different.
Is it very worrisome that the new Hellboy movie is scheduled to come out in January?
Really?
Why? My birthday is in January. I like that.
Well, yeah,
that bad, Widge. It's that bad.
yeah. That's I don't know about the release schedule in Germany, but here less so these days because the summer movie schedule usually starts around mid-March. But
yeah, I know.
Right after Oscar time is when a lot of films get dropped.
I know. I mean, it's Hellboy is not an Academy movie, so they're not going to release it in the fall. You're right. January is a pretty weird spot for something that should draw an audience.
And apparently, Dark Phoenix is Fox's Valentine's Day release.
That's a little bit like that time they made Zack and Miri and Halloween movie. That was smart as well.
Here's the deal. I think Hellboy should do well in January. Here's because we've got so much saturation, right?
Right.
I mean, like literally, if you look at this year, we started out with February with Black Panther, and then we rolled into what was right after that, the Avengers. Now we're rolling into Ant-Man and Wasp, and then there's all the Star Wars stuff that dropped in between all of that. I think that's actually a better opportune time for them to drop a film like that, just because everything else is so much larger on the scale of people are going to see that it's probably better for them to drop it right then, because there's probably nothing else coming around that where, okay, we can get a few extra dollars and a few extra eyes on this that we wouldn't normally get if we drop it any later in the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really have anything else coming out around the same time except a sci-fi film called Ad Astra with Brad Pitt, which I don't know anything about.
And there you go.
Oh, well, it's the director who directed him in Lost City of Z, which I did not see.
Is that the sequel to World War Z?
No. Sadly, there is
Thankfully.
going to be a sequel to World War Z.
Really?
And it makes me sad.
I got that as a present one day, and I still haven't watched it.
Oh, it's just it's a wall of zombie fire.
Watch.
That's what it is.
Watch the first 30 minutes and then stop.
Okay.
Because honestly, for the first 30 minutes, I was like, okay, this isn't the book, but I'll go with this. That's cool. And then it just started disobeying its own rules and got stupid.
Zombie army of fire ants. Just remember that.
Okay. I know what you mean. If they really would have adapted the book, it's, by the way, it's really nice to see John working with cables. They should have cast Mark Hamill because he was so strong in that audiobook. He would have been awesome.
Well, I mean, the problem is I don't think you can do the book as a movie.
You can do it in episodes. You know?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Ideally, you would have that on HBO, and what you would do is you would do like Midsummer Murders. Each episode, there's like 4 episodes in a season, or 6 maybe, and they're basically feature length. So you could tell the entire story of like the Chinese nuclear submarine, or the blind monk, or whatever. You could tell that entire story from end to end in one go, and you could have some characters overlap because they do, but for the most part, your narrator is the only guy who just is in all of them.
Yeah. It would work. It would be a good show, but it wouldn't draw ratings, I think.
I don't know. I mean, I think the unique take on it would be interesting, especially if you could if you had something where basically you would have somebody as in essence show running it, making sure that it all kind of was coherent. But you could
like
give
Black Mirror.
What's that?
You do it kind of like Black Mirror, where you eventually tie it all together. Maybe at the end.
Well, but I was just thinking you give it to different directors so you could even have like for the anime fanboy guy who gets the katana. You could even have give that to somebody like Beat Takashi to direct or something, where it's because they're all over the world. I think it would be awesome to just give it to a director from that region of the world and not have it be so outlandish that it takes you away from the series, but it's just it's a different take on the series in that particular area.
I hate to bring this back to Hellboy, but I have to. Have you taken a look at the IMDb page for it?
No.
There is a German actress, and she is cast as Leni Riefenstahl.
Really?
Yeah. And I was scrolling down. Okay, there must be some Hitler must be in there. Apparently not.
Okay, but Sophia Okonedo's in it, and that's awesome.
The cast looks fine to me. I mean, Ian McShane is Professor Bruttenholm. Is that the name of the professor that we know from Hellboy?
Shit, I don't remember. Let me look.
Why didn't I just look up the old Hellboy then as well?
Yeah, Bruttenholm.
Okay.
That's who John Hurt played in the first one.
Yeah. If you have to recast him, Ian McShane is a good call.
Yep.
Brian Gleason is in that. Okay. As nothing, apparently. Good. I'm really curious what that movie is going to be.
Well, aren't they? They're following a particular story arc, aren't they?
No idea.
I think there is not much known by now, aside from the fact that they brilliantly cast David Harbour, and he looks amazing in it. He doesn't look like himself, but he looks like Hellboy. And I recently realized that I had seen him before Stranger Things in The Newsroom. I was completely struck by that because I watched The Newsroom about 4 times by now, and I never realized. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. And he plays a rather, you know, for that cast, an unlikable guy, at least at first. And in Stranger Things, I just want to hug him. So he has range. He can be a dick and he can be nice. And now I lull you all to sleep.
No, I'm looking up to see if that's a particular, because I could have sworn I heard that it was.
Look for the one with Leni Riefenstahl in it. So confused by that. Okay, we found the submarine.
The bird is now in a submarine.
It's das Boot.
Das Bird.
Boot.
Oh, is that German for bird?
Or Das Boyd.
Wow. Bored.
What?
Bored.
As in, I'm bored.
Yeah, it looks like
I'm confused.
Pronunciation lessons with Dom. Hi. You're all not doing very well.
Hey, that is exactly how you pronounce Boyd. Like that's how Bugs Bunny said it, and that's good enough for me.
Boyd.
Apparently the Blood Queen, which is who Mia Jovovich is playing,
Uh,
that is from volumes 8, 9, and 12 of the trades. So that's kind of where they're getting the story from. And Rox will be pleased because Baba Yaga's in it.
Bob who?
it's the brother of Bob Hope. Doesn't
Yep.
make any sense. Just roll with it.
That's a road movie I'd like to see.
It's Bob Newhart's cousin, actually. Been hanging out with Peter Scolari.
Am I pleased or frightened?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
That's the pause that refreshes every 15 minutes on Weekend Justice.
Okay, so I'm curious. Does anyone, apart from the whole, Thanos could be dead, does anyone have an Infinity War theory that they particularly like?
Yes, Thanos was right.
It's just the wrong 50%.
No, it's not even the wrong 50%. Doesn't matter. It was random. It's not like he singled people out. Look, I sit in traffic I live 20 miles from work, 19, right? I sit in traffic for an hour and 15 minutes. He was right.
Just wondering, could you walk that distance in that same time?
No.
No. Okay.
No, not in Atlanta. You die. Between humidity, bums, other vehicles, sinkholes. Trying to think. What else? Come on, Whip, help me out here.
Stuff falling off the trucks.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Not even casual, just brazen racism, depending on who you are.
Bridges on fire.
Bridges on fire. Bridges of Madison County. Bridges to nowhere.
Think about the.
I've never experienced racism in Atlanta.
Well, then you haven't taken part in it.
You're missing out on a whole thing.
How white of you, John? How white of you?
I know, right?
This is
I've driven through Atlanta in my minivan at least 1,000 times.
I'd like to point out this is yet another reason why I consider myself an Alabaster American and do not identify as white any longer.
You and I are both aluminium foil.
I've stopped at Starbucks, everything, and never had any problems.
I stopped at Starbucks.
This is finally where John gets revenge on Mad Men for the Solve This, in which he broke John.
I'm actually literally just doing his bit back at him.
Exactly. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, okay, come on.
I didn't even bring my privilege with me.
What's next? Exactly.
Where did I put that privilege?
While
Hold on
he
one
sips
second.
on a sweet tea and eats a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Eating them hate fries.
Those are freedom fries, sir. Those are freedom fries.
I think right now that's the same thing.
America.
Hey, look, apparently our president can murder anyone he wants to and just pardon himself. So, yeah, you know, whatever. That's
so
what we've
funny.
come to.
According to Rudy Giuliani.
Hello, I'm Donald Trump. I came from the future to test your democracy. You're failing so far.
I think the whole North Korean summit's just to exchange notes. It's really just, hey, how'd you get all this done?
Oh God, I'm getting pointers.
Yeah.
John Hill. What did you do? I killed everyone close to me.
I like that time travel idea, Dom. It's like Trump shows up and says, "Come with me if you want to fuck everything up."
I wonder if he's asking him, oh, well, you ordered everybody to have the same haircut as you. Do you think that would work for me?
I don't think.
Here's the problem with that whole theory.
What with
that man
the
could
haircut?
never get near. You do realize that?
Could never get near what?
time travel?
I don't know if. Look at it this way.
Yes, hell no.
I mean, he's trying to, in a way, he's trying his own sort of time travel.
Right. Let's everything.
If you had him in the future, you'd do whatever you could to get rid of him. So maybe they were just like desperate and sent him back in time.
Oh, like a Terminator? Come with me if you want to fuck it up.
That's what I just said.
Have you seen the Colbert bit where they had Scott Bakula on the show and redid the Quantum Leap episode? That was amazing.
That was pretty good. Yes.
Also, I still want to see another season of Quantum Leap. Why didn't that happen yet? Just saying.
Because Scott Bakula's too old.
No, he's not too old.
No one else remembers the show but us.
But his colleague might be. What was his name? Al. What was he? Who was the actor?
Oh, Stockwell.
Yeah, I love him, but I think he's by now a little bit.
He is 82 years old. So
the last picture I saw of him was, well, I wasn't worried, but I was just realizing, okay, Dominic, you are 36, so that means.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, isn't it? I
know. Don't worry.
Wow.
Girl, you'll be a woman.
Hey, on every other podcast I'm doing, I'm the oldest, so I'm pretty glad I'm here.
Thank you for bridging the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's pretty clear that at some point they were okay. Let's see. In 2002, they were going to do a 2-hour television film, Sci-Fi Channel.
Mm-hmm. And Sci-Fi did a lot of shitty stuff that would have, they could have done that instead.
In October of last year, Belisario confirmed at LA Comic-Con he's finished a script for a feature.
Yeah.
Well, it all falls under the law of relative development.
You got it. I'm just, there's it's going to get remade. They're going to do a remake. I mean, they're remaking Magnum PI, for God's sake.
Which I actually liked that. I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, this update makes sense.
I haven't seen it yet. But
I like the new Higgins. I like the new TC. I like the new Magnum.
Yeah, I like the idea of the new Higgins.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually watched, out of curiosity, the pilot for the new Hawaii Five-0. And I was like, this could be a guilty pleasure watch. I don't have time for guilty pleasure watches, but it could be. If you just needed a, slightly Michael Bay-ish cop show set in paradise, yeah.
What I don't get about not revising Quantum Leap ever since Doctor Who exploded over there, why didn't they do it?
That's a good question. I wonder if they who has the. Let's see. I wonder if Belisario just still has the rights.
Why would he ever give them away?
I don't know, but I mean,
I wouldn't say he's rich as fuck, but he has done so much TV. He has produced so much TV.
Probably rich as fuck. I would probably say he's rich as fuck.
Wow.
Although what's interesting is, I mean, he's the guy who co-created Magnum. So. Yeah. I wonder if that means, assuming that he had rights to Magnum at all. There's no telling these days.
Well, he will get a credit for the characters at least, so he should get, I don't know, 1 per half a promille of anything.
Oh, I was just thinking that basically, if that's now getting a remake, if it does well, of course, you know what I would want to see a remake of. Before Quantum Leap.
Moonlighting?
Mannix?
Airwolf.
Amazing Stories?
Airwolf!
Airwolf, man, that first episode, we talk about things that don't hold up. There's a whole rapey thing going on there at the very beginning of that episode.
There's lots that's wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was even thinking about Knight Rider the other day, how that never got anything good redone. No reboot ever worked. No sequel ever worked. And it's such a simple.
But God damn it, they tried.
Yeah, they tried poorly. And now would be the time, just show Michael Knight to be, he would be today male toxic. What is it? Toxic masculinity. Yes. He would be the perfect example of that. Just introduce RC right in the beginning and have Devon be a woman. Just fuck them all up and have them cry because it is so PC now. I would love that. And Michael Knight is a drunk all the time. It's like, you're driving, kid. I'm drunk. Sorry. Would love that.
God, I barely remember it, but I know that I watched Knight Rider 2010 at some point.
Yes. I watched almost all incarnations of Knight Rider, but not all episodes.
With the multiple cars?
Team Knight Rider?
Yeah.
Horrible show. I think I watched every episode.
Dude, I tried like 2 episodes and I just couldn't, right? And I watched trash television. I couldn't.
It's it's wrong if Sequest DS what was it? V is
the Rob.
Hey Rob.
Hi,
hey.
Rob.
Sorry.
Rob standing in front of a castle.
Yes.
Awesome.
He's always there when he's recording.
No.
I didn't I'd completely forgotten there was a 2008 Knight Rider series.
That was not good either. I watched I think the pilot.
Yeah. No, 17 episodes and a TV movie.
What?
Yeah.
I recall the ending of Team Knight Rider, the last episode. They actually had Michael Knight show up without David Hasselhoff. They couldn't get the Hoff.
It was too bad for even the Hoff.
Yeah.
It was just shot from the back, so it was
just Jerry Girl.
Was just
a perm. That's all you saw was just a perm.
Cutout. What's up, Rob?
Not much. What's up, kids?
We're just drinking soda pop at the pharmacy.
Wow. Oh, nice. Is that what they're calling it these days?
Kit in the new Knight Rider, Kit could transform into a Ford F-150, a Ford E-150, a Ford Flex, a Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, and a 1969 Mach 1 Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. It's a lot of product placement.
Yeah, he should have been. He should have been an AMC Pacer
or a Gremlin.
A Gremlin. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Basically, now if you combined Knight Rider and My Mother the Car
and Turbo Team
and Christine.
Now we're talking about the League of Extraordinary Vehicles.
Well, what about Herbie the Love Bug?
And they're fighting the Green Goblin car from Maximum Overdrive.
Oh,
or Wonderbug. There's also Wonderbug.
Speed Buggy.
Speed Buggy, yeah.
That truck was the star of that movie and the best thing about that movie.
Yes.
Wow. And if you think about it, it's still the best Green Goblin we've had on screen.
I'm going to show you now the European version of the Disney Love Bug.
I am Willem Dafoe, and I'm doing my villain voice.
With the mask, I'm less scary.
Which, when he does that, almost sounds like a very sort of hoarse Harvey Fierstein sometimes.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine if Harvey the Love Bug rode with Harvey Fierstein? I would watch that.
I would absolutely watch that.
Yeah.
I actually like the idea of Harvey Fierstein being the Hobgoblin. I think that's good.
Nice.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'd be totally on board with that.
Yeah.
And let's see. What we've got: Jake Gyllenhaal potentially as Mysterio for the new Spider-Man.
Jake Gyllenhaal was supposed to be the new Batman. Can he just make up his mind, please?
No, he cannot be the new Batman. Nope.
No.
Wait, which new Batman? We're getting a new Batman? Oh my god!
No,
We're always getting a new Batman.
Each week it's different. Each week it's either Ben Affleck is out of it or I want to play Batman. Depending on his mood.
Yeah.
I like Ben Affleck. I think it's fine.
He was
but he's too big of an actor to do the.
No, he doesn't want to confront the people who are idiots on the internet, which I think is wise.
I don't know. If you look at what happened with the what is it, Kelly Marie Tran this week?
Yeah.
On Twitter over all the bullying and crap that fans tend to do.
Yeah, I don't. Okay. Dumb question. What the fuck was their problem?
They're idiots.
No, I okay. Beyond that, what were they doing? Because what's wrong with her? I mean,
they complained about her because she represents everything that they hate about episode 8. I mean, I came out of the movie and said Rose is my new favorite character in that movie.
She was great.
And aside from the character, she played her very well. She was amazing. If you don't like the character, you have to say, well, she played that character good. I don't like the character.
Right.
But, because she represents all of that, and she's a woman, and her character does things in the movie they don't like. They hate on her, and they also hate on Kathleen Kennedy because she's also a woman, and it seems she decides everything. So
if they only knew about Anthony Daniels.
Oh God.
Yes.
I'm in every Star Wars movie. I like that.
Well, Wow, Dom, you look a lot like a young Trent Reznor, and it's really frightening.
I've met Trent Reznor, and I'm not going to say that because there was probably heroin involved. I'm just going to say that.
There definitely was in the 90s when I saw him, but yeah.
Well, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
He looks a lot different than I do, actually. Just has dark hair and blue eyes.
You look a lot healthier as a young Trent Reznor.
Although he looks pretty healthy now. But yeah.
No. He's been good for a while, right? And that's not to disparage Trent Reznor, right? Like when I saw him, it was the early 90s. Yes, there were bad things going on. But I can tell you that is one of the best shows that I've been to.
Yeah.
Literally, it was, hey, this is going to happen. And then 5 minutes later, it was like the scene in Pulp Fiction where they, jab Uma Thurman with the adrenaline. Literally, it was like that. It was like, let's do this. And they did. It was a matter of fact, it was a one-off show at Masquerade. That Saturday night, we were leaving, and we were supposed to come back the next day to do load-in early for Blind Melon. Shannon died. And so they go, you don't have to work Sunday, but don't forget Monday, we have the word-of-mouth only 9 Inch Nails show.
Yeah. See, they played a bar here with like 50 people in it, and it was very weird.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, this is on the Pretty Hate Machine tour, and they had like basically metal bars with film strips like hanging behind it for their backdrop. And then they slowly got bigger.
Yeah, when I saw them, that was the first time I actually saw them up close.
Leon's getting
the one-off show at Masquerade, and when I say up close, I mean I'm 2 feet away.
Yeah,
watching all it because we were working at the time. Yeah, but that place always had like good bands come through.
Yeah.
John, how's your office coming along?
They still owe me money though.
Still working.
Wait, who owes you money?
Oh, I TJ'd once at the Masquerade like 15 years ago, and the guy who was supposed to pay me left early. So I'm never going to see it.
Nice.
That's all right.
You're never going to see them.
It's not that much, but it's the principle of the thing.
Understood.
Yeah. And people suck.
So, Rob, what have you... You generally see things. What have you seen?
What the hell did I see? Oh, I saw the On Chesil Beach. We went and saw that, which is the movie with what's her face, Saoirse Ronan in it, and it's filmed on Chesil Beach, and everyone stands out in the cold and looks miserable for 2 hours, but it's really good. And watched the other day Top Hat with Fred Astaire in it for the first time, and trying to think what else. We went. Okay, so in Chicago they have a version of Macbeth going on right now that Teller from Penn and Teller directed.
Oh, that's right. You saw that.
Yeah.
How was it?
Pretty incredible. And it's interesting because they don't really, I mean, when you think about it, it's totally up his alley. At first you're like, what? And then you're like, oh, this makes total sense. So it's a totally different spin sort of on it. They dig into Macbeth a little different than a lot more people would expect. And then the other thing we saw, the big thing we saw was we went to the Steppenwolf and saw the Doppelganger, which is was a political farce, which, let me tell you, could not be more timely. And like it was cool about if you go to like a theater in Chicago, they have like $30 tickets. You know, you could get like, you know, you're gonna miss a guy coming out the door. These tickets are $25. You know, you can go see good theater cheap there, which is nice. So we ended up going to see Rainn Wilson in this thing called The Doppelganger. And it's basically this guy invites his doppelganger to stay with him on a retreat. The same weekend, he just happens to be mediating an international deal with like an Arab arms dealer and you know, an African dictator and like all these different people that have political interest. And it's a satire and it's a farce, but don't think for a second that it's not, you know, comedy is politics. And it's really cool. So, and we literally were leaving, and this guy sitting on a chair says, "Hey," and I said, "Sup?" And it was Rainn Wilson. And yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. And you know, I never watched much of the Office, but I've seen like Almost Famous and some other stuff. And he's just, yeah, he's nice. You know, sometimes these guys that do, you know, yeah, he's all right. So yeah, I do recommend the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood movie. And Solo, I saw Solo.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
You know, Glover, it's pretty much what I expected. Glover steals the whole thing. And I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I don't understand why it's not making money. I don't get it. You know, it does all the things a Ron Howard movie does that normally makes money. So I just, unless people are just like, oh God, it's another Star Wars movie. Or is it, you know, the Avengers are so much more kick-ass than Star Wars. Do we care about Star Wars anymore? It might be that.
Disney is putting out, in general, a lot of blockbusters right now. Too many, maybe.
Yeah, and the reference to Bossk was pretty cool, so that was neat. I don't think they need to make 2 more Han Solo films, though. I think that's just idiotic.
No, God, I forgot her name again. The female lead.
Emilia Clarke?
Emilia Clarke. I forgot to mention it. She's amazing in the movie. She's really, really good. She's very subtle. She's very charming, and she's not just the reason why he does stuff, although it seems like that in the beginning. And give her another movie, really.
And Paul Bettany was really good.
He's always good.
Yeah. How much money is that guy making this summer?
More than he's ever made before, probably.
I will say this. Okay, so I've seen Infinity War 3 times now, and it gets better every time I see it. And I notice more with each viewing. And the thing that struck me the most about him and Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, I never gave a shit about the two of them in the comics. I have no emotional investment in them from the comics. And from a movie perspective, we've seen them as a couple for maybe 3 minutes. and yet it's devastating. Their scene at the end absolutely kills me. And it's just testament to how good the two of them are that they can sell that as well as they do. So yeah, I have enjoyed Paul Bettany. The first time I saw him was in A Knight's Tale, where he was Geoffrey Chaucer walking down the road butt naked.
He was,
and I was like,
brilliant in that.
I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's hilarious already.
That movie's underrated anyway.
It really is. So, but yeah, we weren't talking about Solo's box office so much as it seemed to me that people were almost gleeful it wasn't making money. I mean, there was just so many headlines about it. I was like, Jesus Christ, relax already.
I really think it is the only story to tell because it doesn't disappoint. It is not the best movie in the Star Wars canon. So what are you going to tell them? It's okay. That's a boring headline, So
no, that's true. I mean, in this era of horrible clickbait.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Here is why Solo does not sell well is a clickbait headline, and it fits the narrative they have. So
that's true. I think that basically they have adapted. Clickbait is what happens when local news strategy goes mainstream, because they used to do this, and they still do it. Actually, they do still do it, because every so often on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, they'll do a compendium of ones from some channel in New York State. But as an example, it would be something like, are your Venetian blinds giving your children cancer? Find out tonight at 10.
Surprise answer, no.
Yeah, I know. It could be just no. But I'm like, all right, motherfucker, listen. If something is giving someone cancer, you need to tell us now. Okay? But
best delivered with a smile. Are we all going to die? Find out tomorrow. Which is, by the way, you can always say at the end of a segment.
I'm reminded of the George Carlin bit where he was talking about the news, and he said, scientists have discovered that saliva causes stomach cancer, but only when swallowed in very small doses over a prolonged period of time. But yeah, so basically that's all clickbait is that, but on the internet.
Yep.
My favorite are the ones where they're like, you're never going to believe these actors' horrible deadbeat children, and it's like a picture of someone who doesn't have a kid next to someone who isn't an actor's kid. It pissed me off. They did one for something about celebrity suicides, and they had Gene Wilder's picture up there.
Oh.
And I was like, I forget what, I found them, and I tweeted up, and I said, motherfuckers, he's got a family. So, yeah, I hate those. Just like I hate at the end of web articles where the last paragraph asks you questions in an attempt to get you to comment.
I love that they do that on the Nerdist website still, and there are never comments, although the Nerdist is running. They don't need them.
Yeah.
Maybe there are comments, and they're just blocking them because it's all, kill Star Wars because it is horrible now, and they just don't want to have that on their site. I don't know. But I've seen one comment in the past 3 years on their website.
I don't know. I just it makes me crazy. Do you think that Thor should have gone for the head? Answer below. It's like, who gives a fuck what anyone thinks?
Widget walls.
Yeah, there you go. There's my poll quote.
Yeah. By the way, this is a great episode of Which Goes Off.
Yes, it really does.
Memories.
I miss that.
Like the corners of my mind, even.
I can remember one episode where you were talking about why is there a different expiration date on the cheese when I take it home. That was great. Is it strength in numbers? And I said, yes, it is.
I don't even remember that.
I do. Honestly, I listened to that about 4 times.
What is wrong with you?
I had a
we
really
don't have time to go
job.
into it, Rob.
I had a really shitty job.
Hey, so do I.
Now I don't, but then I had.
Yeah.
He recommends for shitty jobs listening to me bitch about cheese.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, now that they fired Goebbels, things are moving up in the world.
I think you'll find that the animal is pronounced gerbils.
Actually, that was what I was thinking. I was not sure what he said. I was like, did he again make a Nazi reference? I was not sure.
I think we've already covered the apology.
Yeah, but he wasn't here for that.
He wasn't here for it, but we covered it early.
I'd like to apologize for Roseanne Barr for never watching your stupid TV show. Poor John Goodman.
On behalf of the black delegation.
Well, but
accept your apology.
No, I mean, somebody's like, I hope John Goodman finds work. I'm like, I don't know how they got him to come back. He's been, he did the voice in like 4 animated films last year and was in 3 live action ones. I'm like,
he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But
He lives in New Orleans. He's fine.
I don't say poor anybody on that show, right? You know who you're working with.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe not the actual staff that surrounds them. But as far as the rest of the cast, Lori and all the rest of those guys, you know who you're working with, right? It's not like she's been quiet even before they got the show.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't say horrible things. So you kind of know, oh, yeah, I'm about to go to work with my racist uncle. Right?
At the very least, it was risky, yeah.
Right? Do I have a choice in this? The fact of the matter is, they made a conscious choice to, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make this show. And here's what happened, right? Let's hope for the best. Hope for the best.
Yeah. Basically, Mad Men's opinion is that of the commentator in the movie Airplane, which is one of my favorite bits ever, where he says, they bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash.
Maybe they didn't think it was going to be that bad, right? That's really what it boils down to. Well, maybe it's not going to be. Nope.
Well, they had a hand in controlling what the show was going to be like, but they couldn't control their Twitter feed, so.
Exactly. If a dog bites, that dog is probably going to bite someone again.
Yeah. Although I will say this, it's the same thing with like the decision about bakers can discriminate for religious grounds. I'm actually fully in favor of this simply because I would like to know up front if the business that I might give money to is populated with assholes.
And that is completely how my approach to racism. I'm like, look, be out in the open with it.
Thank you.
By all means.
Thank you for making it clear.
So that I know I have to keep my
Yes, absolutely.
It actually makes my life a little bit easier when you wear that flag T-shirt where I go, okay, not dealing with you at all. Right?
Yeah, Dom.
Hey, I can tell a story about that. You know, up until the last World Cup that was in Germany, when somebody had a flag, a German flag, just normal flag, not the Nazi flag or whatever, in their house, we would know, okay, that's probably a Nazi because you don't do this here. And ever since we had the World Cup here, now everybody again shows the flag. And so you don't know anymore. I mean, I'm not, you can show the flag and that's fine with me and you don't have to be a Nazi, but it was easier,
Yeah.
So really, as soon as I saw the German flag not on a government building, I was like, ooh, nah, I'm not going to talk to those people.
Yeah, I said the same thing the whole time.
Yeah.
Like most of my life. A very special episode of Weekend Justice.
The more about racism you know.
Oh, God.
But hey, to circle back on to something that we started an hour ago with Quantum Leap.
Oh, good. This is perfectly normal for this podcast. Yes, Madman, please.
There's always time for Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
So there were two shows that I really, really enjoyed. One, I believe, was called Travelers, where it was some weird, Middle Ages guy that got stuck with some long-haired kid from Brooklyn. And they
it's Back to the Future, just modern.
Basically, that they traveled throughout time. But the other one was Amazing Stories.
Yes,
and it came on NBC on Sundays, and I loved that show. And I was like, man, that'd be great if they remake that. Oh, by the way, May 22nd, 2018, Once Upon a Time creators Adam Horowitz and Eddie Kitsis have fantastic stories to tell and have signed on as showrunners for Apple's upcoming Amazing Stories.
Wait, Apple's?
Yeah, because Apple doesn't have a streaming service yet, so
right. It's a reimagining of the mid-1980s anthology series from Steven Spielberg, who also will serve as executive producer alongside Horowitz and Kitsis. Bam!
Well, which I actually find encouraging, because the thing about Thespia showed me some episodes of Once Upon a Time, and what became clear very quickly is that you had the creators behind that show wanted to be on HBO or Showtime or anywhere else so badly. They were literally pushing the envelope of what crazy plot thing can we do, while Disney executives are coming and telling us we have to include these characters this season. So, you know what? If they are given enough free reign to make a good, amazing stories, and not make it Black Mirror, but actually just make it amazing stories.
Well, funny that you should say that, because Brian Fuller actually was set to do that, but he wanted to make a darker version of Black Mirror, so he stepped down.
Yeah, see, I think don't try to out Black Mirror, because Charlie Brooker will win.
Hold on, someone should do that. I want to see how bad this can go.
No, I don't.
I do.
I don't.
I do. I promise you I do. Seriously, we were in Target, and I remember finishing up the last series of Black Mirror, and there's the toy section is for the toddlers, and there is a stuffed animal that you can put your voice in and everything. And my daughter looks at me and goes, "Oh no, they on some Black Mirror shit."
Yeah.
she turns and goes, "Mommy loves you," and I'm like, "Oh no, give mommy a hug." And I'm like, and there were some Georgia Tech students around there, and they just peeked around the corner and they were like, "Nah, bro, that's not good."
Yeah, my favorite episode of that is still the Go to the Head of the Class with Christopher Lloyd, that Halloween episode. I loved that, because to me that is the perfect blend of fantasy and kind of horror that works for that series. You can't really go darker than that, I think.
I don't know. Pretty sure Charlie Brooker's going to make you find out.
Dom's been doing research and found this for you there, Madman. It's Voyagers.
Yes, that's it.
I watched it too.
Time and help history along. Give it a push where it's needed. When the Omni's red, it means history's wrong. Our job is to get everything back on track.
It's red! It's red! It's red right now! Fix it! Fix it! It can't get any more red. I can't take it.
Careful, careful.
If it gets any more red, it'll be Russia in the 70s and 80s.
Relax, Jets.
You are really tempting fate. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's like the parties of Stephen Hawking. The time travelers just never show up. So, seems that it's going to be fiction forever.
Welcome to the darkest time.
Oh, God.
Thank you for finding that. That was fantastic.
Well, we should probably move towards recommendations.
I never prepare something. I have to look something up. Damn you, Widge.
Hey, that's my shtick.
Hey, you're still more prepared than Scott would be, so you're fine.
You know, you would say the exact same thing if he was here.
Yeah. It's eerie. It's like he's here.
When did Paul Lynde visit your home?
Oh my God! All right, who wants to go first?
Yeah.
Who's Paul Lynde?
Rob, why don't you go?
Oh, because I'm totally unready. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So let's see. Where do I start? The world is a terrible and awful place. So since Rox isn't here, I'm going to recommend a zine.
Yeah.
Because went to Quimby's. Widge, did you see the pictures I sent you from Quimby's?
I did.
Of that we are staff pick.
Yes, I saw that. It's fantastic.
Yes. And we still have 3 issues left, which means somebody has bought, like 6. So
Awesome.
So I'm going to recommend a zine called Living Southerners. It's a whole zine about weird stuff of the South. There's shopping in the South. There's a whole thing on Stone Mountain.
So it's about
There's a thing about what you really need to know about Stone Mountain that's hilarious. There's a thing on the Biltmore Estate. So a couple things on Asheville, North Carolina. So that is hilariously great. So there is your zine thing for the week. And I'm going to recommend the new record from Eleanor Friedberger. I don't know if you guys know who she is or not, but it's her 4th solo record. It's called Rebound. She uses a lot of keyboards and synth, and it's a little bit different type of thing than what she normally does. But it is pretty good, so I want to recommend that. And then there's a band called Ash. They have a new record out called Islands, and they have a great song that you should look up online, but look for the version that's not the radio edit. It's called Buzzkill. And so, yeah, that's pretty great. And, if you've not seen The Americans, for the love of God, go see The Americans. So
I am right now.
Yeah, the season finale had maybe the best 15-minute scene I've seen in television, probably since The Wire.
But I'm afraid of Americans.
Well, you should be.
I'm afraid of the world.
Yeah,
you should definitely be that.
Yes.
Yeah, the world is a vampire.
That facial expression is really needed.
Okay.
Bring that home.
There are 2 things you need to understand, John. One,
yes,
as much as I detest, Better Than Ezra or Collective Soul or Blind Melon, you may want to realize that Billy Corgan is actually kind of a moron.
Greatest wrestling promoter of our time.
Which is why, exactly.
Who saw that coming?
I never felt so often like Steve Rogers than today.
Yeah, well, it would be hard for you to feel like Steve Rogers.
Well, I don't get any references today.
There's a Captain Britain, and there's like a Canada superhero. Why isn't there like a Captain Germany?
There is a Captain Berlin.
Really?
Yeah, but
there was a Captain Germany, but
really, is it the guy from the film Cabaret, and he fights crime?
Actually, Captain Berlin takes your breath away.
I think I wrote a review for Neat Coffee about Captain Berlin versus Hitler, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a movie, but it's actually a filmed stage play. It's really weird.
Really? All right, and I'm also going to get my 1930s on and suggest Fred Astaire in Top Hat. If you've never seen a Fred Astaire movie, it's kind of interesting. So,
not allowed to get my 1930s on. Sorry.
That's okay. Although you know, why more the merrier.
Oh wow!
No, actually, that's the problem.
Send it to him on DVD.
On a CD.
Yeah.
CD briefcase.
Yeah. So yeah, Dom, I want you next time to go watch Cabaret and tell me how factual it is.
As long as I don't have to watch that other terrible movie, what's it called? The Sound of Music? No, never.
Yeah.
Started to watch it, hated it from the first second.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Rob, you missed the conversation where Rox was talking about how she couldn't finish Baby Driver.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Gave up
I
on
know. It's always the people you least suspect.
No, I can see it. Why?
She just didn't care for it. Couldn't get through it.
That's all right. It's fine. John doesn't like Casablanca, and we're still friends.
I still don't get that, though.
What? That they're still friends?
Neither do either of us.
No, how you can?
John, I'm sorry your team lost in the playoffs. I was rooting for them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where do you stand on barbed wire, though? And I mean the movie.
What's wrong with barbed wire?
It's a Casablanca remake. That's what's wrong with it for you.
And we saw Depeche Mode this weekend. They're very old.
But they just can't get enough.
They just look rough. They just look rough.
Just can't get. Well done. This bottle was full when I started.
Oh, really?
Let
Malox?
that be all of our character notes.
Is that Malox?
No.
Oh my God. Oh, for God's sake. Madman, do you have anything for us?
Yeah. So my recommendations this week are going to be mental health professionals for Kanye West. So that's one thing. Also, it's kind of a local thing to the south. I discovered a new bakery throughout the south of Tennessee, Florida. There's actually one near Rocks. Looking at there's one here in Ponce City Market, and
what's the one in Ponce City Market?
Yeah, they're all named the same thing. It's called Five Daughters Bakery.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they have amazing donuts. Which they're the same donuts I brought to the game night.
Are they a spinoff of Five Daughters Brewery?
Yeah.
I thought there was a.
Why not donuts and beer? Why not sugar on sugar?
There's a really amazing chicken place in Ponce.
Yeah, you're talking about Hops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hops pressure cooked fried chicken. That's like the old KFC original rotisserie.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of flavor to it.
But the Indian street food place is gone, which makes me sad.
Is it?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Oh, no, I think that's still there.
Because they did the smartest thing I'd ever seen anyone do in their entire life.
Which is?
Take chicken tikka masala and put it in a tortilla.
Yes, they did.
And wrap it like a burrito.
When people bought it, it was great. So yeah, that's my recommendations for
nice
for this week. I'm gonna recommend donuts at Five Daughters Bakery.
Cool.
At a location near you if you live in the South.
Florida 30A. I wonder where that is.
Florida.
Is that the map coordinates or?
It just says it's at Florida 3.
Yeah, it's at Santa Rosa Beach.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
30A, not 30A, John.
30A. Okay, whatever. You know.
In Santa Rosa.
Look, I haven't had to try for anything in my life, so what do you mean? Everything just gets handed to me.
Okay, Prince Harry.
Whoa.
Well,
Oh God. All right. Thanks, man. John, what do you have?
Oh, John. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna give Dom some time.
Well, I went to MegaCon over last weekend, and I just recommend seeing all the cool artists that are there doing really cool pop art. I got this. Well, if you're looking on camera, got this really cool Thanos. It's a little standy thing, and it's ingeniously with a little magnet, and a little piece of cardboard, and boom, it stands up and sits back there. And I got Deadpool to go with it and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, really cool artists. I'll be
Nice.
at MegaCon.
So was buying it a snap?
Of course it was. Use his privilege card.
It was half off. The
God.
the
Oh, would you? It would be terrible. Just think if Thanos went to a poetry reading.
Oh God, that'd be awesome.
Woman.
why are you giving away more scripts, as Madman would say?
Exactly.
More sketches. Yeah, and I mean, I didn't steal it. I didn't take a 5-finger discount on this thing. So, yeah, I went a long way to get to there.
You really fisted it today.
Turned
you
around,
had
came
some-
back.
You had some stones to do that one.
He covered all the colors of the rainbow.
Just sacrificed to one of his kids.
What's that?
I love you guys.
What about my daughter?
Fucking love you guys.
Isaac Newton is her.
Yeah, so that unfortunately you can't buy this on Amazon, but Dom will get to that. Dom.
Am I not supposed to recommend Amazon.com? No, I'm supposed to recommend neatcoffee.com/Amazon, but which we'll do that later.
Yes. Yeah, I can handle that.
Yeah, I looked up a few things, and just for the people who were intrigued by the story I told about the book spa, SPA, that's if you're in England, if you are close to Bath, you have to book this in advance, a few months probably. The bookstore is called Mr. B's Emporium of Reading Delights. It's a very short name.
That's a great name, actually.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
It's a lost Terry Pratchett novel.
It's
oh God. I hope there are many.
It's a novelization of Debbie Does Dallas.
Oh God, I hope there are pictures.
Yeah, it's a pop-up book.
It definitely pops. There is a singer I got to see last year. Yeah, I think that was actually the day I watched episode 8. Right after that, after the press screening, I went to see Morgan James live in Munich. She's an American singer. I don't know. Does anybody of you know her?
No.
What's her name?
Morgan James. I discovered her through the Postmodern Jukebox, which you may have heard of.
Yes.
And she's a really good singer. I mean, she had one of what are her role models? I think Nina Simone and Aretha Franklin. But she well, what somebody actually cast her because they needed somebody who looked like pretty much like Doris Day, but sounded like Aretha Franklin. And that's close-ish. She's very skinny blonde woman, and she sometimes really does sound like Aretha Franklin, although she probably would still kick her ass. But she has a really good voice. She has nice music. Her covers are really great. Check out her YouTube channel because there are a lot of just in-house covers that are really, really good and very reduced. Just 2 voices, somebody doing a little bit of a drum set and a guitar. It's really, really nice. What else? Yeah, time travel shows. I don't know if you ever mentioned it, if somebody of you saw it. There's a show by Eric Kripke, who came up with Supernatural. You can think about Supernatural what you want. I watch every season, although we all know after season 5 it's all fan fiction. But he came up with Timeless, and I watched the first season. It's pretty good. second season, I haven't really gotten over the first episode. Not because it's bad, I just haven't had the time yet. So check out Timeless if you have the time. It's a show about time.
Timeless was canceled originally, and then the fan backlash actually made it got another season.
I know, and it's rare these days, isn't it?
Oh yeah, or it's surprising it didn't wind up on some other network, right?
Right.
Yeah, like what was Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah, it's going to NBC. Yeah.
Well, and Constantine is slowly taking over Legends of Tomorrow, so everything's fine. I give him 1 year, and the show is going to be called Constantine and His Boring Friends. Why are you starting to play the guitar? It wasn't supposed to sound like you should stop. Wondering.
It's our new theme music.
Was that another Wu-Tang cover?
Oh, I'm done. But
oh, okay.
John, you have to go learn the Wu-Tang cover.
You have to say over at the end of it, otherwise it doesn't count. Over.
All right, thank you, Dom. And between John and Dom, they are correct. If you go to needcoffee.com/Amazon for all of your Amazon needs, then you can buy stuff from Amazon like you were at Amazon, except we get kickbacks. So that's always good. For my recommendations, first, what was it? Last week, I think, Midnight Cowboy came out on Criterion. So that is definitely worth rewatching. And it's Criterion, so you know it's got to be good. Also, Kamasi Washington has got a new...
And not play on Dom's Blu-ray player.
That's right. So buy it and send it...
And not play on Dom's Blu-ray player.
Send it to Dom so that it will make him insane.
Just put it in the briefcase.
You got it. Kamasi Washington has a new album coming out. He's toned it down, so it's only going to be 2 discs this time. But that's coming out on the 22nd. It's called Heaven and Earth, but he has released a song from it called Street Fighter Mas, which is quite good. And also St. Vincent has released a reworking of Slow Disco from Mass Education entitled Fast Slow Disco. And that is also quite good. So the basically 2 digital singles and a Criterion release. Those are your recommendations for right now. So there you have it. With recommendations done, we've come to the end of yet another episode of Weekend Justice. And I think it's only time. Yeah, it's always time, really, at the end of these things to take a moment to stare off into the middle distance and simply say,
time don't give me time.
That's exactly what we should say.
Oh, you're not going to help, John? Now you needed to chime in. Fucking help.
Honestly, I'm blanking on the rest of the lyrics.
Tell me, Doctor, where are we going this time?
Those are not pillows.
Nobody will get that joke now.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. We get it, and that's all that matters. The joke Illuminati.
Okay.
Oh God.
Oh,
hello.
Science?
What's that?
That was Weird Science.
That was Lisa.
I'm preparing a John Hughes podcast, so I had to watch all those.
Yeah, that film still holds up.
Yeah, 16 Candles doesn't. Not at all.
So
that's it. We've smashed into the wall.
And through the magic of time travel, you were actually caught up almost on eatcoffee.com with Weekend Justice.
Yes, I'm going to flip back and forth. So it's kind of like you get to slowly unravel what the fuck happened, which is hilarious because as listening, I had the idea before I listened to the episode, and I listened to the episode, and I was like, wow, it's almost like we planned this because people are talking about stuff and shit has happened. And normally you can't tell that anything's happened apart from what movies we're talking about. So it just worked.
It's the weirdest of all timelines.
Yes, it is. Total agreement. All right.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to bed now.
Yes, and I'm going to go pee.
My headphones are detached. Oh, there we go.
All
My
right.
headphones detached.
Thanks, everybody.
Look, I'm drunk. Leave me alone.
Good night, John. Let's
Good night,
somebody help you to
John.
bed.
Good night, Dom. Good night, Wedge.
Nighty night. I'll just wait until everybody hangs up. Oh, it's just you.
It's just me. Well, what does that mean? All right, I'm hanging up on you then.
No,
Bye.
Everybody hang up so quickly. That's all. It's 5:15 in the morning, and I don't know.
Oh, it's only 11:15 here. I'm going to bed at my normal time. I know I suck. All
Being
right.
a dick, fun since forever.
Talk to you later.
Bye.